Hello everyone and welcome back to the Zephyr Modpack. Today, I have done a little bit of stuff off camera. I have engineered the majority of the bees over here to have an offspring of 4 drones per thing so that I can start isolating them, isolating their genes. And getting their species and some of the other traits they have, etc., etc. All except for the ordered bees because, and I'm starting to work on building the ultimate bee template. And I'll show you guys what I have so far for that and where the genes have come from. So, I so far have this template here. So I have it set to ignore day and night, true. Cave dwelling true, and tolerant flyer true. I believe the cave dwelling and tolerant flyer came from the Solum bees, the ones that produce the earth shards, and then the ignore day night came from an earlier species of bee. I believe one of the things that led up toward the rejuvenating bee. I think it's down the supernatural path. So it might actually be the supernatural bee now that I'm thinking about it. I've got the average territory because I really don't care about the territory. I got the fastest flowering, which I think also procs the bee's effect. I don't know for a fact, but I think I remember hearing that at some point. And then I've got fastest speed, which I think is the fastest. Actually, now let me take a look at that. Speed. Fast, faster, fastest, normal, slow, slower, slowest, speed, blinding. Taken from a bee. What has the blinding effect? Amped drones and fulguric. Fulguric? What is a fulguric bee? Windy and aeolic. Okay, blinding might actually be the fastest, but I don't really need it to be like the fastest. Let's see how good the air bees have been doing so far on their own. I mean, this is fast enough for me. That the speed determines how quickly they produce their product. So far I've got that, and I've got those cultivated bees up because I'm working towards the longest lifespan that you can get. So the flowers I'm going to be leaving blank so I can make that interchangeable. The effect is going to be blank so I can make that interchangeable, and the species is going to be blank so I can make that interchangeable. Ideally, I want fertility to be 1, so I can get a repeatable cycle of bees that doesn't produce drones as extra product. And humidity and temperature tolerance I will also be getting from the bee with the longest lifespan. So that's where that is. Now, I have another project waiting for us to get set up with. 2 actually in this room down here, and that is, there's my Victus. So I've got 64 Victus here, I've got 64 Herba here, and I have, well, basically I'm making a lamp of growth. So what were the aspects I needed? Lux. I needed, yeah, I needed 32 lux. Okay. So 32 lux. Check. All of that is check. And, ooh, do I have the ability to make that scepter today? I totally forgot that was what I was planning after the last episode. My mistake. While I was waiting for that to get ready, I started working on other projects in the background to kill time for the Ignis drone to produce its stuff. It's possible. We'll we'll have this going in the background while we get started with the other projects. See if we get lucky. So we put that in there. I did put it in the centrifuge, right? Yes. Okay. Good. And I need my wand, actually, now that I think about it, which is in the crafting table up here, which is what made me think of the scepter. Alright, so I'm going to start infusing and getting us some lamps of growth. The infusion stability is moderate, so a little bit of risk, hopefully a fair amount of reward. Hopefully we don't lose anything. I mean, all the components are fairly replaceable. The essential loss due to a failure would be a little annoying, but again, not irreplaceable. Seems stable enough. And now that I have those bees that can produce these shards, I can actually start making shard clusters as stabilizers as well. So this makes us a lamp of growth. What a lamp of growth does is if I feed it herba essentia, like these guys, like this, it will produce for me faster growth speeds on plants in its area of influence, which is not too shabby. Why am I doing this wrong? Nope, still doing it wrong. Good enough. Doesn't really matter which pedestal which is on. I just want them to be symmetrical. And in an order that maintains as much symmetry as possible as they're consumed. Which it appears I have succeeded in? Yeah, looks like it. I think the ideal consumption is radially, but I don't know that for a fact. So I'm basically making 4 of these. Is at least the plan anyway. Oh, I knew I messed one up. There we go. So, just let this go again and again. Empty out a couple jars, which will be nice. I now have 2 jars full of permutatio, thanks to having a little bit of a problem. I have 2 jars with aurum in it, which is annoying, but I'll fix that eventually. Oh, so there's another lamp. Oh, now that I think about it, I have not scanned an ordinary lamp. I guess I have one outside which I could use, but nevertheless. Alright. And here we go one more time. To get our 4th lamp. And I won't be able to set them up and get them functioning today, but I can show you where I'm going to put them. and I'll set up the automation off camera and then run you guys through how it works on camera. If you've been watching since my original FTB series, then it'll be a very familiar system to any of you longtime viewers. Which, I think there's at least one or two of you. Well, I know there's at least one. But, still. Alrighty, so the place that I'm going to put these lamps in is right here. I mean, ideally I would put them right where this guy is. So actually, right there, and then I take out the block. Oh. I cannot put you down until there's something to put you on. Alright. Do I have any spare pipes? I do. So I can at least set up 3 of these. It's better than nothing, I suppose. And then we can get started on the next project. I may have been a little ambitious off camera and started more projects than I could actually get to today. I am realizing with how much time I have left. So there we go. So I will be feeding these things Essentia via tube, as you do. As is the most efficient way to feed them Essentia. And I'll be basically putting these over every single crop like so. And you might be asking, what's the point of doing this? You seem to get these resources fast enough anyway. You would be correct. All of my barrels were full. However, were is the operative word, as I have since then upgraded the capacity of all those barrels, and they can hold another 64 stacks. So slowly but surely progress is being made towards that. Okay, I'm gonna put those here, and I will go show you the upgrades I have made to the barrels. So the mana petals are still kind of in a backlog. Well, the ones that are being used for Epic Bacon anyways, which I have not set up yet, as I figured I don't really have a way of putting a timer in this game that deploys the Epic Bacon when needed, which is a bit of a problem. Yeah, I might need to come up with some comparator setup for the mana pool. Or something. I don't know. I'm going to have to come up with something. But basically, now our barrels can hold up to 192 times 64 of any resource. Which it has not reached on many things. Or anything, really. Except for ender pearls and cobblestone, because cobblestone is fed from an igneous extruder. So everything else slowly but surely climbing to that point. Alrighty, so the next things I wanted to do is I wanted to get started on something referred to as an Osmotic Enchanter, which is basically an enchanting table that lets you pick your enchantments, but balances that out by also putting a V's cost on all your enchantments. As you can see, it's a very unstable infusion, so we're probably not going to be doing it today, but one of the components, at least, the Spellbinding Cloth, I do have the materials for, so I can at least get that started while we're waiting on everything else. And let's put that Burning Propolis in and see if we can't get 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, come on. 4, lovely. Fire shard. Okay, so we can get our scepter started today as well. Fantastic. Oh, that's right. I went and found fire shards off camera. That's right. I went bee hunting for pristine princesses. Found some fire shards. We were good anyway. Never mind. Oh my god, I did so much. Okay, so the spellbinding cloth. I am not going to have enough time to address everything I started. So I need 10 Precantatio, 4 Permutatio, and what was that? 6 per DTO. So Permutatio, we have an abundance as I showed you guys. Per DTO, tons of the stuff. And Precantatio should have enough. Yep. Boom. So there we go. Now we have ourselves a piece of spellbinding cloth, which is also a very useful piece of tech, not just for creating osmotic enchanters, but it also has a nice little function of its own in that it can remove enchantments from objects. So if you used a vanilla enchanting table before upgrading to this, and you got some enchantments you weren't too happy about, you could just wash them off and then try enchanting again. So, pretty nice, pretty helpful, and it's pretty great. And the infusion does not consume the cloth entirely. It just removes a little bit of its durability, so you can actually keep using it afterwards. So, tried an enchantment you didn't like? Just go get rid of it. Alright, so I now need to make a primal charm, which now that I think about it, I also need to make a silverwood rod, which I also don't have enough shards for. I'm gonna have to get really lucky with these chaotic drones. Oh boy. And this is why I'm trying to get all the species off of them, because I want to start giving them the perfect bee template qualities so I can start producing this stuff a little faster and a little bit more reliably. So I need to bank on this producing one of these, which it did not, and then getting 100% success rate on this, which I wouldn't have gotten. Okay. So we're not doing that today. Instead, let's go over some other stuff. So here are the enchanting tables that I was going to make. One for the Osmotic Enchanter and one for another project entirely, which I was hoping we were going to have time for today, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. And here is a safari net. Did I have something in the third table? No. So this is a reusable safari net. Uses a gas tier and 4 ender pearls. And we can scan it as well. And I would just like to take it and snag us up an animal. You know what? I can... Where is the lever that makes this whole setup work? And boosh. Alright, so now what I can do is I'm going to take one of these adult pigs, and I was going to say swap it with one of the little pigs, but little pigs don't exactly live or don't exactly stay in the pen. They get moved to the other pen thanks to the chronotyper, so I'm just gonna put the baby pig in here and move it over to the breeding pen at a later date. So now let's go pick up that adult pig we just removed. Alright, so we have ourselves a pig. We have ourselves an enchanting table. We have ourselves a division sigil. So we're not going to have time to do this today. But I can at least get us set up to do it next time. So, I have an enchanting table here surrounded in redstone. And there we go. Ritual has a redstone circle. Ritual is placed on dirt. You can see the moon. Has sufficient natural earth. Must not be lit by outside sources. Is too early. By outside sources. Oh, well, that was smart. Oh well. I'll set that back up off camera. So, is that good? No. Doesn't look like it made much of a difference at all. Just in case, I'm going to put it on this side of the tree. And then I'll go back home and set that other side of the portal back up properly. But basically, we're going to be doing a activation ritual to activate this division sigil. Not because I need the division sigil for anything, but I need the byproduct of this ritual for a few things. So that's the plan, but that's all the time we have for today. So thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed all that fun stuff as always. If you did enjoy, please consider leaving a like or a comment. Any and all feedback is always very much appreciated. Helps me out a ton, and I do always love hearing from you guys, and I will see you all in the next episode. Bye for now.